It's time now to review headlines of today's newspapers. And we're going to do that with my co-host.
Absolutely.
Let's
so
do it.
We go right into it. This day, newspaper is our first to look at, and the lead story here says, in final address, Atiku urges Tribunal to uphold INEC's admission that he won in 21 states. And the riders proclaims INEC admittance containing written response to his petition. Umpire says claim will be addressed in his response on point of law to Tribunal next week. So we're still waiting, to see how all these, back and forth, will pan out.
I think it's really about that there's a lot of things to consider, but what has really been the bone of contention is that interpretation of the votes in the federal capital, in the FCT. Even Tinubu had come out to say that the interpretation of that law, if they don't interpret it well, it can lead to anarchy. So,
he didn't say so, so we have to be careful. That's the interpretation of people about what his lawyer Lanipekon said.
All right, then.
That if but I mean the best that can achieve will be that you didn't win FCT as required by law. I'm just saying, that may not be what the court would decide. But then if they decide that, it simply means that there will be a runoff.
Yes.
A runoff or a rerun, of the elections. But then the court will now have to determine, will it be between APC as the winner and the second, party, which in this case is PDP, where that will leave Labour Party and Peter Obi, we don't know. But there's also a situation where you can actually have three people, to go into the runoff.
Okay.
But we'll see how it goes. Another story on the cover of today's this day: NMPCL resumes remittance into federation accounts.
Very important.
Okay, so Nigeria is getting more money.
Yes.
All right, on top of the masthead, 7.9 billion alleged fraud. EFCC arraigns Odua 3 years after, filing charges. That's on page 5 of today's paper. That's Stella Odua, the senator. And on the window, Tinubu, I will deploy entire machinery of state power to secure Nigerians. Urges Lake Chad countries to reform military doctrine, practices to quell elusive irregular terrorists. And I think that has to do with one of the cover pictures here celebrating senior officers, where you have the PAMSEC, Ministry of Defense, Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Kana, the Kaduna State Governor Obasani, the President himself, and the Armed Forces Commandant and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State Air Vice Marshal Alaji, and the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. Of course, there's another picture on the cover, Goodnight Adeshola Adeyemi Bero, showing Mrs. Oluyemisi Adeyemi Bero, her husband Demola, Mrs. Nnenna Adeyemi Bero, her husband Adewumi, Mrs. Adebola Thomas near Adeyemi Bero, and her husband, Mr. Shegun Thomas, during the funeral service for Adeshola Adeyemi Bero at this present house in Lekki, Lagos, yesterday. Do we have time for one more paper at all?
I think we can still do one more paper. Should we do The Nation?
Just the cover story.
Yes, the cover story right there, the top story there reads, insecurity, Tinubu, of course, vows to use state power to secure Nigerians. FG procures 51 air platforms to fight terrorism and banditry. Okay. And then, of course, the change in military doctrines.
That's still the same story that we read. And, of course, Saturday Vanguard says, lawmakers sucking Nigeria dry.
Yes.
Nigerians want bicameral legislature abolished, say it's a costly burden. I think that's something that everybody will have to consider. If we are saying, let's cut the cost of governance, everything, this is important. If you can't afford it, why, why indulge in it? All right, then. That brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayoride.
And I'm Sheito Atigari from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.